Now get ready. Here we go.
What is going on, everybody? It is Arkham here. Over the course of 2024, I got to experience a bunch of brand new roller coaster credits. When I started the channel back in early 2024 in May, I only had a little bit under 100 roller coasters. An exact number you're probably asking for? Only about 94 credits. At the end of that year, now I round out my year total of new credits to 119 roller coaster credits. I've ridden over 20 brand new roller coasters in 2024 that I have never seen or done in my life. And that has me so excited for the future of what I am going to want to accomplish with this channel and places to go back and check out as well. But without further ado, in this video in particular, we are going to be ranking some of my top roller coasters, my new roller coaster credits that I got to check out this season. Holy moly. This was such an amazing season for roller coasters, and I got to check out a plethora of brand new roller coaster credits. And here we are. We're going to rank the top 10 new credits from me, ranking them from worst to best. Now, obviously, some of those coasters will not make this list. However, these are my top favorite coasters that I rode that I just started to ride this year and was introduced to you to. And there's a good amount on this list. This was a very difficult list to make, but this is what I think. Here we go. Let's begin with the ride that I honestly thought was going to be much worse than I originally anticipated, and this is going to be Gale Force. Gale Force enters in here at the number 10 spot, and honestly, I think this ride was a good amount of fun. It's an SNS triple launch coaster, and these rides are really cool. It has a very awesome beyond vertical drop that really just tosses you out of your seat. The launches have some good punch to it, and all around, what's really cool is you go around twice. So it makes the ride even more re-rideable in that kind of sense. I don't know how this thing rides in the summer in like very busy weekends, but when I did go back in late August during the first Arkham tour, Arkham in the Shore tour, I personally thought that this ride was a big surprise. It definitely has a big presence in Playland Castaway Cove and the surrounding area. You definitely see it from a while away. And all around, again, they have a very strict no article policy, but then again, this ride is still a ton of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Entering at number 9 is another roller coaster that really subverted my expectations, and that is the Loch Ness Monster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. The first coaster from Busch Gardens Williamsburg to make it onto my top 10 for today. And my, oh my, this ride is very, very cool. Originally, it still had the whole Loch Ness Monster theme, but I'd never ridden it prior to its new refurbishment, so I got to experience the new refurbed, essentially, Loch Ness Monster before the old. But I really liked what they had going for it. They basically told a story from the start of the ride before going up the first lift, all the way through the tunnel, which the tunnel looked really cool, seeing Nessie, and then the interlocking vertical loops, which is one of the most iconic scenes for a roller coaster or a theme park in general in the world. Like, you will never see any interlocking loops like that ever outside of Busch Gardens Williamsburg. So being able to see that up close was really cool, and the way that it interacts with everything is so nice. It's really awesome, especially when you're down at the bridge, just watching this roller coaster just go right by you, like just a couple feet away, and it's an awesome sight. One of the most photogenic coasters in the park, in an amusement park, might I add, that is already insanely photogenic. Definitely deserves to make it onto the list, primarily because it is an aero coaster, and I kind of thought going in it was going to be very rough, but it actually was a pretty smooth ride all around, and they did a very good job with this refurb, so it comes in at the number 9 spot. Kicking off the number 8 spot is Hydrus at Casino Pier. Man, this is a really short ride, but wow, this is so cool. A Gerstlauer Eurofighter with lap bars. I thought this ride was a ton of fun. I mean, yeah, it could have been longer, But at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this ride a lot. I actually thought, thinking about it a little bit more, that it is a slightly better ride than Gale Force, in my personal opinion. At the current moment, I feel like I got to get more rides on both of them to really kind of put that together. And really, one of the biggest differences is that I had more of an opportunity to ride Gale Force in warmer weather, and Hydrus was in colder weather. So I mean, I know they're polar opposites, but I felt like even with that, Hydra still ran better. All around, really cool ride. Short, sweet, right to the point, and that's what I like about these kind of coasters. Number 8. The first of 2 B&M inverts on this list comes in at number 7, and this is Talon the Grip of Fear at Dorney Park. Once again, Dorney Park will show up later on this list, but I think Talon is such a really cool ride. I thought about it a little more, and I think this ride does have a little bit more of a dig than I remember it having. It did have quite a bit of intensity, and honestly, I've also said it many times before in the review where I feel like this ride just doesn't get enough love. This is a really cool invert coaster. Yeah, it's not as intense as, say, Batman the Ride, or maybe even Alpengeist for that matter, but it's still a very fun ride. Short and sweet. It's right at the front of the park. It's first impression you get from a roller coaster standpoint when you enter. So it leaves a very good impression. And that iconic turnaround just being right at the front of the park, like 4 feet away from when you enter, is just awesome to see. Well, look at that. Another B&M invert in the next spot up from another one. Number 6 is Alpengeist at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. This ride is crazy tall. It's intimidating. 6 inversions. It's huge. It's the biggest B&M invert coaster I think out there right now. I think it's technically a hyper invert. It's 200-foot drop roughly. It has huge inversions. It does have quite a bite to it. I think it's the whippiest coaster on this list. It is insanely whippy. I love the cover scheme. I love how it kind of just hangs out and interacts with Griffon, interacts with a lot of the other rides in the area, and you can just see this thing from just about anywhere. The dominance this ride asserts is crazy. Massive ride, great roar, good ride all around. A lot of people said it was rough. I never found it rough. I thoroughly enjoyed Alpengeist a lot. Truly dominating their way into the top 5 is none other than Dominator itself at King's Dominion, the front of the park B&M 4-wheel coaster that is one of the largest B&M 4-wheel coasters I've ever done and has a massive vertical loop to show for it. This ride is awesome. I love how this ride just goes all the way around after that vertical loop. You just feel all the pulls of G's as you make that turnaround into the Cobra roll. And I just really like this layout. I think that it has a lot going for it, even though, if I'm not mistaken, this ride was a relocation. If somebody could confirm that for me, I believe it was relocated to this park, but it still runs really good if that's the case. I really like how the whole last part is really low to the ground. It feels fast. It feels like kind of out of control in a way, but it is smooth. It's a great ride. I'm not crazy about the color scheme, in all honesty, but I really like what this ride has and does for the park. Obviously, with it kind of being in that corner, it doesn't really fit too well, just because like there isn't much to circle around for. Like you have to go right back into the midway just to go back around again. It's a little weird, but all in all, I will still take Dominator for what it is. It's a great roller coaster. Comes in at the number 5 spot. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have Steel Force, a really fun hyper coaster that spawns the back side of the park. This is a very cool ride. Very loose lap bars, and you just get sent over these hills. It's a lot of fun. It's just a fun roller coaster. I wouldn't take it over Nitro or Candemonium or any of those other hypers I've ridden, but this one's a really cool concept. I like that it has a lot more force than the other rides in the park. I feel like all the rides minus like Iron Menace have like not a lot of intensity, and this one actually sort of has more intensity than those other rides. It's a great roller coaster. It's definitely a standout coaster in the park, my favorite in the park at the current moment, and deserves to be here on the list. Coming in now at the number 3 spot is Verbolten at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. In my honest opinion, at the current moment, I have not gone every single ride at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, but of the ones that I did do, this is my favorite at that park right now. Verbolten exceeded all expectations I had. And I already knew of the surprises going in. I knew it was a more intenser family coaster than usual, but wow, this ride blew me away. I cannot believe I would ride this thing. The drop track inside literally tosses you out of your seat. The helix inside the Dark Forest, or the Black Forest, or whatever, I forgot what it's called. That helix inside there is super intense. The iconic shot of it dropping down and you can see it from the bridge is fantastic. I love this roller coaster. It's the perfect Revenge of the Mummy and the perfect Expedition Everest merger in one. It's just both of these rides in one. It just takes the cake easy for being a perfect ride for families and for those that are on the thrill seeking end. It's a great roller coaster and most definitely deserves to be the top 3 of my new credits of 2024. Let the debating begin. Coming in at number 2 is Twisted Timbers at Kings Dominion. Definitely my favorite coaster I got to experience at that park this year. And it was also my first RMC iBox roller coaster I ever got to ride. And wow, this ride is crazy, crazy good. It is intense. It is butter smooth. It tries to kill you and literally throw you out of your seat. It has all these inversions. It has all these wacky elements that I cannot even name. It has so many things going on. It's just chaos from start to finish. Oh, did I also mention it has a drop that goes upside down? Yeah, it has a barrel roll drop. There's no other ride that I've ridden that has any kind of drop like that, and still it is fantastic. I love this ride so much. The theme seems pretty cool. I wasn't able to get a full experience because it was in the cold during Winterfest, but I want to get back here in the summer to fully ride this thing at its fullest potential in the blazing hot heat because I know these rides can run very fast in very hot heat. And that especially goes for our number 1 spot right now. Yeah, guys, there's no debate here. Coming in at number 1 is Wildcats Revenge at Hershey Park, the newest credit at Hershey Park that I was able to get. And guys, this ride is absolutely insane. I remember riding Wildcat in itself, and I did not like it at all. When I heard that Wildcats Revenge was coming to be a RMC conversion of it, I did not expect it to be anything like this. This ride is absolutely nuts. When I said earlier that Twisted Timbers is just pure chaos, no, this is chaos turbo packed with a booster from a jet engine that just goes from 0 to psycho in 4 seconds. That's what Wildcats Revenge is. It has sideways airtime, which I swear is something that I never thought would exist, but it does. It has a really good set amount of inversions. It has a literal lateral left turn while you're going stupid fast. Why does that even exist? I don't know. And then the finale on this ride literally tries to absolutely have your head or hands get smacked by the wood supports. What is this finale? Because this finale literally tries to kill you or rip you right out of the car. I mean, this ride is so crazy in all different ways. I mean, and just like with all the other RMC hybrids, it is butter smooth throughout. There's like no kinks in the track. There's no roughness. Like this ride literally has painful airtime, which I never thought would be something that exists. But here we are today, living in a world where airtime gets to be so insane where it actually hurts. Well, that's what Wildcats Revenge did. And thank God this ride exists because it is fantastic. This is a true definition of a roller coaster of listening to the people because this is what they wanted from Wildcat. And they did just that. Kudos to Hershey for listening to the general public, for listening to people that are saying you should RMC Wildcat because we got this beauty of a roller coaster right here. And it comes in at the number 1 as my number 1 new credit of 2024. What an amazing year for roller coasters. 25 new credits and ranking my top 10. This was not an easy decision by any stretch of the means, but I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 list. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Always thank your write-ups. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the parks real soon. Goodbye.
Here we go. Here we